Hi everyone, welcome to Bag Secured. This is the Career Center's new series where we interview recent graduates about their new careers and the new paths they're heading on. My name is Jenna Ross and we have Connie Zhu with us today. So Connie, why don't you tell us a little bit about you? What was your major, where are you from, and where are you heading?
Hi, my name is Connie Zhu and I'm a first-generation college student from the island of Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands. My major is computer science at CSUF with a minor in mathematics, and I'm heading to Texas.
And you just wrapped up commencement, right? This past Monday, 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's very surreal. I remember, after the ceremony ended, I had a friend ask me, how do you feel? I'm like, I don't know, I don't feel it yet. I don't feel anything yet.
Has it settled in now, 2 days later?
Yeah.
A little bit?
It settled in a little bit when I lost, I had some friends in different majors and I couldn't, we're not sitting near each other or anything. So when I went to take pictures with them and I saw her, she's my roommate and my friend, I saw her and I was just we just screamed and we started running to each other. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so bad at you. And I was like, oh, wow.
That's so sweet. So emotional,
Yeah.
Cool. And you celebrated the next day.
Oh, I celebrated the next day by going to Disneyland. I got to bring my mom, who's never been there. We were there till 12, so my feet do hurt a little bit now.
Well, that's awesome. So you're heading to Texas.
Yes.
What are you going to be doing in Texas?
Okay, so I am heading to Texas. I had an interview at the United Services Automobile Association there, so that's USAA. It's an insurance and banking company. And after my internship, they had offered me a full-time job, but it would be where I interned, which is San Antonio, Texas.
Right, yeah, it's a big move.
Yeah.
Big move, but it's exciting.
Yes. I interned as a software engineer intern, and I'll be going in as an entry-level software engineer.
Okay, very cool. Awesome. So you interviewed with them for the internship, and then after that, I'm sure there was a brief interview process to get the actual position. Mm-hmm. What was that second interview process like to get the official full-time offer?
So the way I found the interview was through a ship info session. So they had some software engineers from USAA come in and they did an info session for us. I knew somebody that is in a leadership position there for our school, and he knew I was a computer science major, and he knew that the info session was software engineering, so you don't have to be Hispanic to be part of it. It's anybody could join.
Okay.
But it was just for that one info session that I decided to drop into, and where got me.
Yeah, it worked out.
So I'm very grateful to his name is Oscar, and he does a lot of great things. He's been on the school's newspaper, and
cool.
He's actually on one of the school banners around around campus too. So he does a lot of great things. I'm really grateful to him. So afterwards, I just kept in contact with them. I connected with them on LinkedIn. I messaged them after the workshop, thanking them for their presentation and everything. And then afterwards.
That was pre-internship or?
Yeah, pre-internship. Okay. So they told me to let them know as soon as possible, to apply.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I mean. I'm just everyone out there struggling because they told me to apply as soon as possible, and that's typically the standard. Especially when you're trying to connect with someone, so it's fresh in their brain too. But it actually took a while for me to apply. I got really busy with school, and it always stayed there in the back of my brain. But I just it also just felt this weight of expectation.
Yeah.
Once I confronted I have to deal with all the fears of not having a job and things like that. So I just put it off.
Yeah, that's understandable. It's like
Yeah.
a scary step to
Yeah.
put yourself out there.
Yeah, so it was like a month later, or like a month and a half, that like I finally like decided to take that step forward. And like I was fully ready to like accept the risk of just like, oh, I might not really get it because of that and things like that. So I was in the middle of applying, and then I had like a question about it, and I was like, okay, let me go back to that LinkedIn contact. So, hey, I know. I like tried to like address the fact that I didn't apply in like a indirect way.
Yeah.
Like acknowledging it, but not letting that like profusely like apologizing for it and making it weird. So I just acknowledged it. It's like and like what is like thanking them for like rethanking them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I got to my question like, oh, what's the difference between this? Because during the application process, they ask you whether you're interested in being like a data engineer, infrastructure engineer, or software engineer when you're going through your internship. And I was like, what's the difference between them? I'm not sure what I'm really interested in. So he was really helpful, like still like really like helpful, like really wanted to help me.
Yeah.
Gave me a lot of details and stuff like that. So that was really nice, and it really made me feel like, oh my gosh, so people are people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
people are
always better
people.
to ask.
It's not super scary.
Mhm.
Like that's a person on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And then I applied, and then I let them know, like, hey, just finished applying. Thank you for all your time and stuff like that. I'll let you know and keep you updated.
That's great.
Yeah.
And it's always better it may feel like silly to ask a question that you think you should know based on your major. You might be like, oh, well, they would expect that I would know this already.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm asking, then maybe it's going to ruin my chances. But that's really rarely the case. People are people. They want to help you. They're there to help you because they were in your shoes at one point. So
exactly.
It's a great method.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then, like, the first step was an online assessment. Like, you do an assessment. They give you a link. Some might video you while you do it. And then it's like this coding questions that you do on your own. And obviously with no. Yeah. And then before that, I had also asked, like, oh, for the online assessment, is there any advice you have to offer me for that? And he was also really helpful with that. Finished the online assessment, and then when I got to the next part, which is the interview process, I also again went back to him and was like, any advice for the interview process and things like that. And then he was like, oh, it'll be about like 80% behavioral, maybe around that much, and then like 20% coding, like interview questions and things like that, just to see like how we work when given like a problem. Yeah. So then afterwards, like I'm part of this first generation program, and in that program I'm given a mentor. It's called Bridge to Connect, and they give me a mentor. And I consulted with my mentor a lot. We did a lot of mock interviews.
Nice.
And even if you don't have a mentor, I think it's really important to like ask people, like even your friends, like just give them like online.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them Google interview questions online. And just make sure not to laugh in their face when you. Yeah, like part of the challenge is keeping your cool and like making sure your voice doesn't shake.
Yeah, mock interviews.
Yeah, mock interviews. Especially, you have the Career Center. You also, like, the Career Center offers virtual tools as well for mock interviewing. Shameless
Hiration plug.
Yeah,
check out Hiration.
Exactly. So, like, that practice really helps. I know it can be really daunting. I know every time, like, with my mentor, I'd be like, I really don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, if I could avoid it, I would. But since I already made that plan with my mentor, I couldn't, like, back out of it. Like, I owed it to myself. I owed it to her, like, respected her time too. Like, okay, I'm going to complain about it in my head, but I'm still going to do it.
Yeah. That's a great way to get it done. Like, set an appointment. With the Career Center to do a mock interview.
Yeah, because then once that appointment's made, like, like, don't cancel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too much work.
Yeah, please come.
Too much work to cancel it. Too much work. So yeah, and we're open during the summer, the
Yes.
winter, you know, and it's not busy during that time.
No, summers
it's
are
not
not that
busy.
busy compared to the school year, but we are open during the summer to come practice mock interviews, schedule any type of appointment with your career specialist. So please, please come in.
Yeah. Please come
Connie
in.
worked with us at the Career Center for how many years were you at the Career Center?
I started January 2022.
Okay, so she knows all of the tips and tricks.
So it's been like 3.5 years?
Yeah,
Around 3.5 years, 3 years.
that's
Something like
awesome.
that. Yeah, wow.
Cool.
Freshman year to now.
Yeah. Look at where you are now. Heading to Texas.
Oh.
So back to kind of what you're saying about the interview process and everything. I'm sure there were elements of imposter syndrome that you felt with that. How did you combat that, and how would you advise other students who are going through these similar feelings to approach that?
Yeah, I know it's like really hard. Like for me, like I'm very big on like honesty and things like that. And I think and that's part of like the core values of USAA. So that's what I ended up liking about it. And I was like, okay, so I should just like try to be myself as much as I can. And like I do believe in like fake it till you make it. But I also think like especially with my imposter syndrome, I'm just like, what if I'm not that? What if I'm portraying like it to people that I'm not? I'm someone that I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
But then at that, like, I tried my best to honor myself by just like figuring out how to like sidestep it. Like, oh, you know what? This is true. This is true. Like, this is fact versus this is like not exactly a fact. Like, and then use that to like use my experiences to just like let them create their own opinion of me rather than saying I am a confident person. I am really good at coding and stuff like that. So that's where I try to approach it. But then like obviously you're gonna get feedback from the people that you're doing your mock interviews with and things like that, and that will like really help you. And when they give you like praise too, they're like, oh, that was a really good response. And then you're just like, oh, like it starts feeling better. Like, okay, yeah, I can do this. Like, and it starts like, it kind of helps with like the imposter syndrome a little bit. Yeah. So those mock interviews really helped. Obviously, it's still gonna be really nerve-wracking when you have that interview. But I found it wasn't really that bad, and you know those interviewers, like they're also people too. So they tried their best to really make me feel comfortable. Like, oh, this is good. We're trying to keep this like very casual or like kind of casual. Feel free to like do this at any time or not at any time. Yeah, so they're really nice in that regard. I can't tell if it actually helped with my nerves or not, but I appreciated the sentiment. Maybe it would have worked on someone else, maybe.
Is that part of the reason you decided to go with USAA? Was that kind of like welcoming, more like chill approach, I would say?
Yeah, it's gonna depend on like who you're interviewing with, what team you're on, and things like that. But in my case, the people I interviewed with were the team I was gonna be on. So yeah. Also, like you might have been because I didn't really have another option.
This was the team that you interned with as well, so you had already kind of knew them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the interview process for me, and it was just like about talking about my experiences in a way that showed that I am like a person, that I have growth, and that like I do have traits, and they're like believable traits rather than just saying like, oh, I'm a hard worker. Okay, like what about you shows that you're a hard worker.
Yeah, demonstrating the skill rather than just saying you have the skill.
And then like it's the same as when you hear someone talk and you like, oh, they know what they're talking about. Versus like it's like sometimes you can kind of hear when someone's making it up or trying their best to like shape your view of them in a way that would work. But it's like, oh, we can tell that you might be lying.
Yeah, always best to go into it with honesty.
Yeah. So it's really about how well you explain yourself too. Yeah.
That totally makes sense. That's awesome. So we kind of covered imposter syndrome. How was your job search process? Was there anywhere else that you looked at or applied to after your internship, or was this just kind of like, oh, this is the place I want to be?
So like after my internship, I believe they would have like a higher return rate, and I got notified pretty quickly that I would be given like that I was given the full-time offer. So like, and they gave me like a week or two to decide.
Oh wow.
So like, I didn't want to miss out on an opportunity, so I said yes.
Mm-hmm.
So like having that kind of like verbally, like not verbally, but like, you know, I responded yes to it already. It kind of like discouraged me from like applying to jobs and things like that. And just having that, like, even if I were searching for jobs, it's like having that net there kind of made it hard for me to really put my motivation into it.
Yeah.
Especially during my senior year. I found that I just ended up just focusing on my senior year, and like that really like just solidified that whole time into its place.
Yeah,
So
that's a great way to do it. I mean, if you have the trajectory already with an internship and you're happy there, then why not just like make that the path?
Yeah, I think it was just like, it's just really sad because I really did picture my life in California.
No. Maybe you'll come back.
Yeah.
And there's USAA offices all over, right? Or they're not?
It's just, I think it's because it's like HQ.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you never
Most
know.
of the work is done there.
Never know where life will take you.
Yeah, never know where life will take me, you, everybody.
Yeah, everybody. So speaking of the new position, I have the NACE competencies here, the NACE career readiness competencies. Which two do you think were like the most helpful in getting this new job?
I would say communication and teamwork. That's just because like I appreciate communication, and I try my best to give communication back. So there's like no misunderstandings. And communication can be hard when it feels like you're exposing a bad side of yourself, but it's like, oh, if it's for the team, like you kind of have to say, like, oh, I messed up on this.
Right.
You can't just like hide it and and fix it on your own and hope it'll work. And that directly ties into teamwork. Like if you have a good team, then like you have a good team, then like work will be easier, and you'll also just find yourself happier in it. The same way like people stay in jobs for their coworkers and not for the actual job.
Yeah.
But I do want to give a shout out to critical thinking.
We love critical thinking.
Critical thinking, like situational awareness, whether like not even just on the job and thinking about like how to do problems, like if you work in an office and you do Excel or or coding and things like that. Like critical thinking is great for that, but critical thinking in social situations, like that's a game changer.
Okay, my last question, probably my most important question.
Oh yeah.
What is in your dream office snack drawer?
I forgot. Is it Reese's or Reese's?
Oh yeah. Reese's.
Reese's.
Right?
Reese's. We're gonna go with that.
Okay.
Reese's Pieces.
Yes.
It just tastes so good, peanut butter.
Just a jar of peanut butter.
Yeah. I'm more of a fruit person, but I don't think I can really put that in a drawer at my desk.
Maybe
sometimes.
Yeah, maybe
If work has a fridge.
if you eat it fast enough, depending on the fruit.
Or if work has a fridge,
Yeah.
put it in the fridge, take it out when I'm
You could get a mini fridge.
eating a snack. I could get a mini fridge. But if it was fruits, like any of them, like strawberries, is tomato a fruit?
Yeah.
I like eating tomatoes.
I'm the
cherry
same actually,
tomatoes.
like just whole cherry tomatoes.
No,
They're best.
I don't know. Why don't people are like so judgmental when it comes to that
I
sometimes.
know.
So. But it's good.
Really good.
They're really good. What else? Like, I like potato like flavored things, so like potato chips, like Ruffles maybe, or Lay's, or I'm also like hot Cheeto girly.
So we got Reese's Pieces, fruit, cherry tomatoes,
Yeah.
potato chips,
And
and a hot chip of some sort.
Yeah.
Takis.
yeah. Cheetos, Takis.
I love it.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's a lot right now.
You can find all that in Texas. They've got everything. Have you been to Buc-ee's?
I have.
Yeah,
I
they've
have
got
this
everything
photo.
at
Wait,
Buc-ee's.
I have this photo. I've never actually I didn't hear about Buc-ee's. Like, I've never heard about it before until I was in Texas. This is me at Buc-ee's.
Oh
I'm acting like a child.
I'm gonna
and
put that-
holding, like, Buc-ee's hand.
You've got to send that to me so I can put it on the screen.
Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here, Connie. This has been so much fun. Very nice learning experience. Stay tuned for more episodes of Bag Secured.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you, Judah.
Thank you. That was so fun.
That was so fun. Like, really nerve-wracking. It was fun.